Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Non-Essential Dialogue. We're your hosts, Tavyn.
And I'm Payne, and this is our podcast where we build stories from scratch. Hopefully you've seen it before. If not, welcome into your first time. What we do is we pick from these boxes up here, and that tells us what kind of story we're going to make today. So Tavyn's going to explain a little more. It's my turn to grab the boxes and his turn to pick.
Yeah, we're super cute, so we like to take turns doing everything. So first we're going to pull from our medium box, and this is going to be like a...
Only two left.
Oh, shit. Okay. Video game. So in the medium box, we've got TV, movie, video game, and comic book. So we've got video game today, which is awesome. If you watched our last video game episode, Downriver, we were super excited about that one.
It was so much fun. And this is an Easter egg. Get it? Easter egg video game.
So this will tell us the type of game that we're going to make today. Let's see. We've got Hero Shooter.
Cool.
Sick. Okay, and now we do what we do for every single episode, where we pull two prompts from our cup here, our mug. So we've got first. We need to trim some of these down. Fugitive. That's kind of cool.
That's kind of interesting.
That could be one of our heroes. And then we've got Fourth Wall Break. That's kind of fun. Okay. So, recap. We've got video game, hero shooter, fugitive, and Fourth Wall Break. So, let's start.
Let's start with, obviously, video game.
It's a hero shooter.
Yeah, it's a hero shooter. Hero shooters is stuff like Marvel Rivals is really popular right now, but things like Overwatch or Apex.
Would you classify
shooters,
Fortnite as a hero shooter?
No, because your character is created on their own, and you get to choose the loadout that you bring in.
That's right.
So what classifies a hero shooter is it can be third person, it can be first person shooter, whatever, but the point is you have to have champions, and those champions are specific characters. It's not like a create your own. You go in and edit your character to look however you want, and you take whatever you want into battle. It is, this character is a healer. They have a syringe that heals somebody.
Right, you got your
This
classifications.
character can run faster than all the other characters and can double jump. It's like, I am not choosing whoever I want to play. I am playing as some person that the developer has created.
Yeah, you're playing Valkyrie
has
or
these
Spooderman.
abilities. Now, that's not to
Penny
mean that you can't like alter them in some way, but even the alterations have to be tailored. So it's like, if there's an upgrade you can do, it's not like one that you get to choose. It's going to give you like A or B. I want my double jump to be a triple jump instead, or things like that. It's like very tailored, and that's why these lead themselves more toward like esports and stuff, because there's
so many less variables.
There's less variance, and it's like, oh, instead of being like, well, this gun and doing this is good, and then this is really good right now, and that's really good, it's like, no, the hero with the syringe is really good right now. You should always have somebody on your team playing that person.
Yeah, he just got a huge buff this season. Let's use him. Or she got nerfed. We don't use that character.
So our two prompts are fugitive and fourth wall break, which is... Fugitive is interesting because here, where do you go when you go to fugitive? I go to two different things. One, either the game is about some sort of criminal escapade.
Yeah.
Or one of the characters, like our prime character, is a fugitive or of some kind.
That's kind of, I mean, my immediate thought with both, with Fourth Wall Break and with Fugitive was like, these are two characters that we can make. Like, we can make these characters. The one that breaks the fourth wall, one that is a fugitive that's in this game, whatever.
I think it would be cool because when you go to fourth wall break, you immediately go to like Deadpool or somebody, somebody that is capable of talking to you as a person. So what if the whole game was fourth wall breaking? What if the whole game? What if back in episode 2, we sort of started the rabbit trail of like, what if it was all in a game, or what if it was all VR or whatever?
Oh yeah.
What if it's as simple as the the people that that are in these games know that they've been pulled into a game.
Isn't that? I feel like isn't that the finals? I thought there was something.
That's similar. Honestly, I mean, the finals kind of fits our theme. It's like a bank robbery thing and like but fourth wall break, but theirs is more just like a sport, you know? It's like
True.
They get the thing, they know what they're doing, it's a game show, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I think this one would be like I think it would be interesting. There was an old board game which I think they've brought back. I say board game. It wasn't really a board game. It was like a tactical game that just so happened to be like come with ground pieces and characters. But it was like characters from all over the universe that just kind of get like pulled into the game.
Was it HeroScape? Was that?
Yeah, HeroScape. Okay. But what if instead of just like random characters that they made up, it was like characters that existed, like we find a bunch of real or even real people,
historical,
that existed, and pull them into this like digitized sort of thing, so they're all aware that they're in a game, or we create our own, just like HeroScape did, but that was just like a little tactical board game, and this would be hero shooter. So the fun that we would have today would be like, all right, let's choose some characters and then let's make those characters. So most hero shooters have like not a huge overarching story, or if it is, it's like seasons and it takes years to get there.
Yeah,
it's not important.
It's just a little bit of extra detail for the new character that comes out.
What is important is how the game plays, what it does. You know, honestly, hero shooter is interesting, but they've got to have guns or whatever. But in my head, it's like first person or third person or whatever. But it could even be like a tactical shooter, or like like an XCOM or like a tactics game.
Yeah, little like Call of Duty-esque, or like
no, like Final Fantasy Tactics, it's a hero shooter where they would individual. So instead of being like this one can double jump, it's like almost like chess, where some could move in weird patterns and be able to do certain things.
That's kind of interesting, because I guess yes, but I feel like hero shooter, the genre itself, lends more to like Apex.
Sure.
I'm not opposed to that. I'm inclined to like that idea.
Well, you were also like a couple of episodes ago, we were talking about like twin stick shooters.
That's true. And you can do a hero shooter with that.
I guess
certain things.
There's probably somewhere in some Wikipedia page that says hero shooters kind of have to be like a Valorant or Overwatch or something. But like you could also, there's no reason, I suppose, it can't be a PvE game, which is player versus environment. So instead of player versus player, like a Halo or an Overwatch or something, PvE is like where you are basically beating the game. Well, the game is playing against you.
Would you consider Hunt Showdown to be a little bit of a hero shooter, but PvE? I don't think
there's so much customization. Hunt Showdown isn't a hero shooter because the characters aren't locked to certain abilities.
Maybe I think that's what's tripping me out is I'm considering me not creating the character myself and having to pick a pre-generated character.
No, and I don't think that's what it's talking about. Yes. If the character is just like if the character is just a JPEG of a character and you still get to select everything, I don't think that counts.
No, they've got to be the pre-generated.
It has to be this character has these skills, and this is the character that you can play. You can't change those specific. You may pick up a different gun during the gameplay, but the skills or what makes this character are intrinsically tied to that character. So, for instance, in Apex, Valkyrie has a jetpack. The specific way that character moves that none of the other characters move are that she has a jetpack, so she can move vertically in a way that isn't jumping or, slingshotting yourself.
Yeah, and you got Alter can go through walls.
It is literally this. And so that thing about that character never changes. You can pick up a different gun. You can grab different stuff and put it in your inventory. But that character has a jetpack, and that's what sets her aside from everything else.
Yeah.
An interesting. I
will say I do like that a lot more. For me, like I got really frustrated playing Overwatch because you couldn't. And kind of the same thing with Marvel Rivals is you were locked. Whatever weapons you got, you were locked into that thing, which I think made Apex a lot more fun because you could find the character that you like. You get those skills, and you go pick out your weapon.
I also like
pick
that.
out your weapon.
But yeah, like what you're saying, like Marvel Rivals, if you pick the Punisher,
You're the Punisher.
you have an assault rifle, but that gun never changes. Like
Right.
that's the gun that you're not going to find anymore because not every character uses a gun.
Well, and that's what makes I think if we push more towards the Apex concept, because like with Marvel Rivals as well, not that it's not a phenomenal game. Marvel Rivals is a lot of fun, but it's incredibly repetitive because nothing changes. It's always the same characters, it's always the same weapons, and it's always the same like get the little card at the end of the road. Or
Interestingly enough,
which some people like. It's just not personally. I get bored easily.
Interestingly enough, there's obviously the Destiny IP exists. Destiny, not a hero shooter. You create your own character, you make everything about them, whatever. They just made a mobile game that's a different company licensed the Destiny IP and made it. And it is, interestingly enough, a PvE game that is actually hero shooter. So like you select a character from Destiny lore, you play as that character. They've got their own super, they've got their own sort of like weapon archetypes that they use. You can find a different assault rifle, but like that character always has assault rifles.
Right. You got Wolf's always got the sword or the.
And so that's an interesting way to go about it. If you had, if we come up with a world in which all these characters need to break the fourth wall, and maybe, you know what, maybe it's not a game. Maybe it's a time travel thing.
That's kind of fun.
I think it would be kind of cool if, say, like the end of the world was happening and you had some, like a Power Rangers, what's the head in the jar's name?
Oh, Zordon.
Zordon. If you had a Zordon-esque character that was like, hey, the end of the world's happening.
Mm-hmm.
I need people to stop it. And he's got some sort of like time travel power. So he can grab people from the past or from like the recent past or way back. And he can pull them into like a safe space.
Exoprimal was an interesting PvE/P during certain game types.
I think I would consider that a hero shooter.
Right, it's been a minute since I played it.
Well, it was each mech was different. Each mech had
a locked skill set,
things, its own skills. I think that would be considered a hero shooter.
Yeah, just a mech hero shooter
game. And that was fun. That was fun. That's an interesting thing, and sort of borrowing from that the time travel aspect, where it's like obviously that one's like bad guys pulling in dinosaurs, but this one is like this Zordon character would be like,
But it was waves of enemies, and you're in a team of pre-selected characters.
But like Zordon would, this version of Zordon would like pull Alexander the Great off the toilet and pull him into the future and be like, hey, I need you here to help me do this thing, and I'll let you know when your name has been called.
You know what's really upsetting is that we pulled this. I think we pulled this too soon. And I hope we pull something similar to this again, because this would be sick to do with our extended comic book universe.
Yeah.
To do like a hero shooter, like a Marvel Rivals, but of our comic books.
It would be. It would be.
It's something to come back to later.
That could be cool, yeah. But
yeah, plucking
just
historical figures.
Plucking historical figures.
Genghis Khan.
Or like just, people that we decide or whatever. Something like that. I don't know if pulling people out of the past is what it is, but something like that where you have all these people like almost like the finals, but like in a waiting room.
Well, it'd be kind of so.
He's like, I need, he's like, I need for this mission, and then you choose your characters, and he's like, this one, and this one, and they're like, oh well, it's my time, and they jump out there, and they're fourth wall breaking because they know they're not supposed to be there, and they know they're like in a thing. Maybe they even know that they're being controlled by somebody. Like Zordon has the player, the person actually playing the game. They're aware that there is a person who's like channeling their power.
Kind of like that. What was that movie where
Face Off?
Was it Gerard Butler? I think
Gamer.
Gamer. Dude, that was sick. Super dystopian.
Gamer. That was
kind of like that, but less
that
terrible.
Was certainly a movie. It was fun.
But kind of like that, where like they know they're being controlled, is interesting. I don't know if I am a huge fan of that, though, especially if you have these incredibly powerful historical figures and characters that, if you want to play that character, it feels weird to have them not of their own devices. The characters be aware of that.
Yeah, or you could do something wonky like, you know, some games have like the little AI companions that follow you and you can like swap between them.
Is Zordon our fourth wall break?
It could be.
I think because he talks to the players.
I've gone fourth wall with everybody, but maybe they're not aware that they're being controlled. Only Zordon is, and so Zordon guy talks to you and is like, who do you think should go on this mission? You're gonna steal or whatever. Mm-hmm. But we're still missing out fugitive. But that could just be a character.
It could be a character. I do like the idea of using historical figures. I think we should nail that down. I think that's really, really neat. I don't know what the game should be. Is it fighting? So I think was it History Channel? Used to have a show where it was like
Deadliest Warrior.
Yes. Yes. But
yes,
it's like, hey,
I also watched the coolest show of the early 2000s.
We can do something along those lines where it's like maybe it's PvE, which I think is cool, and then when you add the PvP aspect in certain game game modes, then you have like this team versus that team versus these things complete the thing, like in Destiny with the
Gambit.
The Ram. Gambit. Which I think could be a lot of fun. I think we need to. What is the enemy here? Is it waves of different types of, or is it like a Dynasty Warrior-esque kind of thing where it's waves of this specific armies, depending on like these generated armies to see if Genghis Khan can win against the armies of Egypt? Is it like Alexander the Great is fighting against?
See, this is why I think it would be fun as
like Napoleon.
I think the end. So take the end of the world thing. Take that whole thing. Set it over here. Over here we have. What if there's two Zordons? What if there's two Zordons?
Zordai.
And they just hate each other.
Okay.
And so they're just like snagging groups of people from the past and trying to figure out which one is the best. Because this would be a cool tactics one. Which one of them is the better? I feel like I've said Zordon enough that it makes no sense anymore. And anyone who's never seen Power Rangers is like, I don't understand what they're talking about. Zordon was the guy that told the Power Rangers where to go every time.
If you've never seen Power Rangers, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Sorry for your childhood.
He was a big hologram that appeared in their home base and was like, such and such is being attacked. Go fight him.
And then Alpha, the little robot. Like,
yes, sir.
Which, looking back now, seems problematic.
It does seem problematic.
I think there was a racial play there.
I think we shouldn't talk about it because Power Rangers needs to stay where it was. I don't want to dampen Power Rangers in my mind. I think Power Rangers is going to stay on the high pedestal that it belongs on in my head, and we're not going to talk about Alpha.
We are certainly not going to talk about how ICE is coming to get Alpha.
The two of them would be like totally opposed to each other, and
the red and blue situation.
The fight in the middle would be.
I'm just picturing a red and a blue Zordon now.
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to them literally just being floating heads. Actually, I think you can't do that because I think that's a Crash Bandicoot thing. You remember the masks? There was like the good mask and the bad mask from Crash Bandicoot.
Oh God, yeah. I almost
Aku Aku, and the other one was also something like that. Uka Uka.
I think they were
just
reversed or something. Yeah.
But yeah, so you basically have those two things that are like, I'm the better one. No, I'm the better one. And so these two like godlike powers entities,
they're certainly
just start pulling, or maybe it's not a joke. Maybe it's like a good god and a bad god, and they're like pulling people from history and to fight each other in some apocalyptic battle.
Like a fate kind of situation.
Yeah, like the end of the world's inevitable or whatever.
Well, first off, we got to be careful because we're leaning into to Pokemon's patent of summoning a character.
Oh yeah, can't do that.
Yeah, we can't summon.
Can't
I think we can't. I think
can't summon things to fight other things. So like if it's a tea party, that's okay,
for sure.
long as they're not fighting.
I think we summon them
But
to
like,
have a
what
tea party.
constitutes? Sorry, we're making fun of the fact that Nintendo patented something
Yeah.
recently around this episode, where
It's incredible. That
you can
they
tell
would do that.
you can tell that all these like patent courts are just full of people that are old and have never played video games before, and they're just like, yeah, that makes sense. We'll give you a patent. So
Yeah, you guys made it.
Nintendo patented something that is like in literally every video game ever. And it's just like, yeah, you can have that patent that belongs to you now. It's like, hold on, what?
Okay, cool. We'll just undo everything of all time.
You've now told Nintendo they can sue anyone that's ever made a game.
Thanks, Palmon.
Great. You started this. We're getting too into the weeds. Nobody knows what we're talking about.
Pull up.
Nobody knows what we're talking about.
No, I think if we're summoning warriors to fight in a battlefield, it's different. I think it's 20% enough different
20%
to then be distinguishably.
So then what do you
own.
want to do? Do you want to do PvE game or do you want to do PvP game? Maybe
I like
locking
the
down,
idea of both.
Okay, maybe locking down the idea of what type of game it is will help us. Is it
Yeah.
a first-person shooter? Is it a third-person shooter? Is it a twin-stick shooter? Is it a tactical shooter? Twin-stick shooter leads more toward
I don't like twin stick.
PvE, but have you ever seen a PvP twin-stick shooter?
I haven't. I would imagine one exists, but I think it would be difficult to do just because shit flying everywhere on top of enemies.
What if I totally reverse the direction of where we're going?
Oh God,
Would you be okay if I just like slammed it in reverse
I
and,
feel like I don't have a choice.
and never turned my head and just gassed it? If I would just like,
Just scream America and step on the gas. Yeah, let's go.
I'm pulling Fugitive to the spotlight.
Okay.
I'm pulling Fugitive to the spotlight. Twin stick shooter. You're going to like where I'm going with one part of this. PvE and PvP. You know what we do for a living? Besides, the other thing that we can't talk about in parking lots for extra money. Besides that.
Run a thusly so far unpopular podcast.
Exactly. We're doing our next episode from a parking lot.
We need to do our next episode in a Waffle House.
That's the truth.
That's the dream.
If we were any better at this, we would take all this podcasting stuff on the road and just find like whatever the coolest set in whatever movie we were shooting and do it from different sets every time.
And immediately get sued.
Exactly. Then episodes wouldn't be able to come out for like a year and a half.
Our whole mailbox is
We
just
need
cease and
like
desist
a
letters.
year and a half of backlog so that we can wait until the NDA is up and we can release the next episode.
God, we don't even know when our last one's going to be done.
Anyway, what we do for a living.
Gripping?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I mean, why don't you explain to me what we do for a living?
We gripping?
It's not. Shaping light was what I was going for. Shaping light was what I was going for.
Shadow casting.
Correct. Shadow casting. What's the other one? Shadow technicians.
Is this a hero shooter with a departmental hero shooter?
It's a hero shooter, twin stick. They have abilities, but imagine have you ever played? I don't play it very often, or I haven't played it in years and years and years. Rainbow Six Siege.
No, I've seen it.
But you know
play.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. Like it is the ultimate tactical, like listen to people through walls, boarding up doors, that kind of stuff. It's like the people who
It's a
are
hero shooter too, isn't it?
correct. Yeah, the people who are the best at that game in the world are like, oh my God, you have to be so good at that game to be any good at that game.
Three-dimensional chess.
To be mildly good at that game, you have to be so much better at the game than everybody else. Anyway, not important. Saying that from someone who watched it a couple of times and Only played it even
Clear
less
expert.
times. It was one of those games that I was like, oh, I'm an adult now. I don't have time to learn this. I don't have time to get good at this
I
one.
work 60 hours a week. I don't have time for this.
I am arguably better than a lot of people at shooter games. I don't have the time to get good at that one. But two-dimensional. So what I mean is the fugitive is a huge part. You go into, like, let's say, I don't really want it to be about this, but let's say that one team is supposed to keep people from robbing the bank, and the other team is the cop. One team's the cops that are entering the bank, and the other team is the robbers that are already in the bank.
Okay.
You have like imagine like a two-dimensional blueprint.
So blueprint.
Beep, boop,
Andy?
Imagine blueprint, obviously top down. You're using twin stick shooter is your two thumbs.
You use two sticks?
Basically, like on a controller, the left joystick, or on an arcade machine, the left joystick is what spins your character around, what you move with, and the right joystick is the direction that you shoot. So you can be walking this way while shooting the other way. It's like one stick is the direction you shoot, and one stick is the direction the character goes. Very old school. It's been in arcades for a million years. You may not have ever heard the name twin stick shooter. Corridors and hallways, the power is off. The robbers cut the power or whatever.
Okay.
So you would use like the active lighting. So imagine like you're the cop. You're one of the cops. You're looking down from above. You can see the walls, but like whatever direction you're looking, the cone of your flashlight is what you can see. So like maybe some characters would have like a sonar thing and they could see through walls for a couple of seconds or whatever, but like it turns it into this like stealthy, tactical, robbers kind of setting up and cops trying to infiltrate, and it becomes this very like visual game of seeing sight lines and finding people and messing around with other sight lines, or like very audio based.
That could be neat. That could be really cool. I think that it's going to get really, I think, mechanically complicated, because you've got to add, you got to do a lot for it to be. Sorry. What you were explaining, to start as top down, is difficult to then do some of these things. Well, I don't know. I guess not, because you're seeing everything.
Yeah, so you're seeing everything. So I think you'd probably be able to see like the layout of the building beforehand. It would be one of those things, and maybe we even go so far as to make the game like procedurally generated. So every time you're playing, the map is different.
That's fun.
Procedural generation is basically the computer recreates a new map every time you try to play the game. So basically, you make the game in like the maps in like a modular way, so that the computer that drives this thing can sort of reslot stuff around. So you're never playing in the same map twice.
Like if you've ever played Diablo, every time you restart Diablo, the entire map changes. You're in the same areas, but the entire map is different. It's like that.
But basically, like if
weapons will never be in the same place.
If you're the fugitive for whatever fugitive thing, if you're robbing a bank or it's a hostage situation or whatever the bad guys are doing, you would already be in the building. And so you can kind of maybe explore for a few seconds before you start getting attacked.
Dead of night in a way.
And then the cops or whoever's going in after you would probably get a blueprint. Like their boss would be like, here's what it looks like. Memorize it. Now get in there. And so like you get a look at like corridors, hallways. And so you just try to remember like what it is you're going into. And so one team is actually on the inside and can see what's in the building, like environmental things, like doors that are locked or stairs, or like things that are, I'm having trouble explaining it, but like things you wouldn't see on a blueprint.
Right.
A blueprint's
so
not going to tell you where the fire extinguisher on the wall is. It's not going to tell you what doors have already been ripped off the hinges. So the cops get a little bit of information. That's a lot of information. It's the blueprints. You can turn left and right at the end of the first corridor. The robbers may not know that you can turn left and right at the end of a corridor, but they know environmentally what's inside the building because they're in it.
Well, it'd be kind of fun because you could have, as far as for the hero aspect of it, it'd be neat to differentiate. So like the game starts and whether you're partied up or whatever it is, your game starts and it goes kind of like Call of Duty. It's like, all right, you're going to be on the Black Ops team or you're going to be on the terrorist team or whatever. You're the robbers or the fugitives or you're the cops or the prison guards, what have you. Specific skill sets to those branches of characters. So you've got your fugitive side. You could have your excuse me, goodness. You could have your like lock picking guy. You could have your
like I said, so the cops are seeing a thing outside, but they can't see what's inside. So inside there's a robber character who can lock doors.
Right.
So the cops outside are like, okay, we can go left and then we can go right, and the vault's down that way. Mm-hmm. And they come in and they go left and can't go left, or you got to take the time to blow up the door. And then and it's like, so you're playing this game with each other. I don't know what the win condition would be.
I think if we're going to go cops and robbers, it's got to be either they escape or if you're the fugitives, you have to escape. Right, you'd have to get out of the building and far enough. So, do we expand the?
That's you know what? You know how we can get around this? Remember that thing we put over here? Remember the thing we put over here with time travel and into the world things? Smash them together.
Oh shit! End of time.
Two entities somewhere have the ability to just like warp people in and out, and
Is this just morphology of the game?
Sort of. They're looking for like, I don't know, artifacts or something.
Yeah.
And so the people who are trying to like keep the artifacts in whatever time they're supposed to be in, where they're supposed to be, respond to whatever entity is sending people in to steal these things from around time. And so the bad guys are like, all right, we need this document from whenever. Go into this building and steal it. And he like warps them into the building.
We have to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Exactly. And they have it could just be like
Nick Cage is for sure.
It could just be like a goofy villain who, like the I'm in the end of the world because
it's a Doofenshmirtz. It's a a Mega Mind.
You got that guy that's like steal the Declaration of Independence, and he sends his guys in and they warp into the building, and then they're like, they have some whatever. The reason I like that it's like extraplanar or time travel or whatever is they have to have some device that they set up somewhere that's like gonna warp them and that document or whatever out.
Yeah.
But it's got a timer. Like you have to set it up, you have to turn on, and then beep boop, and that's when good Zordon can sense what's going on, and he sends the good guys in.
It's a little bit of Dragon Ball Xenoverse. Like, oh, someone's fucking with the certain battle in time that altered history. We got to go over there and send the hero to go fight them. But kind of like that, that's kind of fun. I'm going to posture something else to you. What if we just make morphology the game? And it's a hero shooter? It's procedurally generated dungeon every single match. The game is picked out. It's rolled from our D20 of games.
I feel like I love it, but I also feel like, is it too soon to cross stuff over?
Probably. But no, I probably. I think that I was starting to come around to the idea of the Cops and Robbers game. The pulled from time game I think is cool because there's not really a limit to the Cops and Robbers game. You run out of characters to make really quick.
Sure.
Like you've got 6 at best on each side to pick from. Whereas like if we do pulled from time, you've got all of these characters. It could be any sort of historical. They could be famous thieves. They could be famous warlords or tacticians. You name it. Doctors, whatever. That could be a lot more interesting, I think, to then kind of sci-fi them up a little bit.
Breaking the fourth wall could also be funny if you did stuff like this could be your Smash Bros or whatever. Like you pull things from other IPs.
Mm-hmm.
So you would be like, I need Indiana Jones. And you just like cut to him doing like a thing and then gets ripped out and stuck somewhere.
He's swapping the statue with the bag of sand. And then the rock.
Yes.
That's funny.
I think we've already done that with Downriver, though.
Yeah.
We actually kind of already have done the ripping things out of time, sort of.
That is true.
So maybe this is just cops and robbers. Maybe it's cops and robbers, and instead of time travel, we sci-fi it, like you were saying. So what would maybe it's easier than that. Maybe you don't need to sci-fi it because you set it in sci-fi.
So it's fugitive and security force.
Well, instead of being cops and robbers in like a bank robbery, what if it's like cops and robbers like X-Men, or not X-Men. What am I thinking of? The Men in Black. Jeez, dude. I lost it. I was like,
ooh, Men in Black.
I went that and then X-Files, and then I was like, my brain was like, it's X-Files. I was like, no, it's not. Find it again. And my brain's like, I'm pretty sure it's X-Files. I'm like,
it's not here.
And like, it's not. Be opening drawers. Just Rolodexes.
Yeah.
What did I just say? I lost it again. Men in Black. Men in Black
X-Files.
meaning like these bad guys show up at like Area 51 and like the Pentagon and that kind of shit. And you have like your forces. Think like Invincible. The main guy, like CIA dude that can just like teleport around and like has cyber soldiers or whatever. That guy. Think instead of any of that stuff, but like a group of those people who tries to protect these like Men in Black-esque or X-Files-esque sort of secrets. And so whatever evil force this is could still have that like set the thing down, set it for 10 minutes, and that's how we warp out.
Well,
They've
that would be
stolen
cool
that
because
technology.
that'd be sick because then you could have all these different you could have all these different types of aliens. And then your Men in Black could be, different types of weaponry, different types of containment devices.
Well, I think it would.
You could really diversify.
I think it would still be this like crazy tactical twin stick kind of deal.
Yeah. No, I kind of.
I'm just doing that because I think it's interesting, and I think people haven't done it before. I mean,
Sure.
Maybe somebody will immediately put in the comments some sort of twin stick light based shooter.
Yeah.
I don't know that it exists,
But it'd be kind of fun. It'd be fun, and it would be different.
But
It'd be a twist on the genre.
It gives us a reason to have the like put the thing down and do the timer, and you have 10 minutes. You know, they get an extra minute to set up in there before the good guys show up and try to attack them and stop the little timer thing from going off.
Yeah. Now, is this where you are randomly put into one team or the other team, and then you have to pick your characters from that? Or is this...
I would think that there are...
Or are they opposing factions
I think they're
instead?
Opposing factions.
Because then you could select from the same pool.
I don't think you want to select from the same pool, because I think almost in like Siege, there's just different stuff that you would want. You know, so maybe some are the opposites of others, but like I think it's interesting because you end up with like all of the bad guys having the like defensive skill sets, like setting up and barriers and things like that, and you end up with all the like
tripwires. Yeah,
you end up with all the good guys with like attacking skill sets or like sieging skill sets, or maybe you flip it either way, and like sometimes you're trying to retrieve stuff from a bad guy base, and sometimes the bad guys. So maybe you do just like some of them make barriers, some of them do whatever, but like you clearly would want to use attacking characters in an attacking one and defensive characters in a defensive one.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean is like maybe I think the opposing factions sets it up to, if we're not going to pull from this, I like the idea of pulling from the same pool because it creates that. To me, feels like it creates more of a tactical challenge. 'Cause it's like, okay, cool. Well, Gibby's always been the strongest character. We're always going to have Gibby on a team because he puts up a force field. And he protects the things, and he starts with more HP. It's like you always want to have one of those on your team. And if someone's got one on the attacking team, how do you apply that in an offensive way? But if you're opposing teams, if you're multiple pools of these heroes to choose from, then you have to, we got to make a lot more characters, which is fine. But it also requires a lot more characters means a lot more varieties of ability sets, which I think would be challenging for like a twin stick with single dimension.
No, because you're still thinking in a single dimension. Because obviously there would be stairs. So you would have multiple floors.
That'd be kind of fun.
So just like in an old, whatever game where you'd hit the stairs, you would hit the stairs and go up to the next floor.
Right, you introduce a character that can blow through
totally different, and
hit
then you
vents.
can fall through the floor to a floor below. It's very much like Rainbow Six, but 2-dimensional.
Yeah. Now, is it twin stick shooter or is it just a 2-dimensional shooter? Like, is it always like, you play twin stick shooters, you guys always freaking shooting and you're shooting in circles. You wouldn't want to do that in a type of game like this because you give yourself away.
No, I think if you're going tactical, you go tactical, and you have a certain amount of ammo, and
I think you get a little line where you're looking.
I think you're probably playing it on a controller, so you would have like a laser that would say, "Oh, this is where you're gonna shoot," but it's not gonna shoot until you hit the button.
Right, it's just one of those mechanical things.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think you're right, because I think you would only have a certain number of, and maybe abilities don't recharge in this one. Maybe your abilities have a certain amount of uses, because I think if you scale the game down hard enough to be 10-minute matches or 5-minute matches,
right? You wouldn't want it to be
the tactical. The tactical doesn't come from like an Overwatch or an Apex where every 10 seconds you have your ability. It's like you go in there and you have 2 charges of C4. That's what you have. You want to use one to blow the floor up so you can surprise them from above? Great. You want to use one to blow up the side of the wall so you can have a flanking position? Great. You want to use one to hide somewhere and wait and see if an enemy walks up to it and then blow them up? Great. But you got 2 of them.
You got 2. Okay. I like this idea.
That way it's not like a 30-minute match and you only have 2 C4s. That's boring.
So
let's want to use both of them immediately and then not have anything for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So if we scale it down really hard to be like a mobile game or a,
I think it's a console. I think mobile would be. There's a lot of things it's a lot of buttons to hit on a mobile. If you got going upstairs, you got to be able to utilize things and things like that. I think mobile is not that it couldn't be done. Not that there's not a lot of complex mobile games, but I don't think they're super popular. I think this would be fun console game. I think that we should nail down some mechanics because we've got a lot of different things going on. And what is our world? So do we want to do...
I think we nail down we're coming up on 45 right now. I think we nail down our world.
Oh, yeah.
And then we get into it, and then we'll come back.
Yeah. So what are we thinking for this? Do we want to go the Men in Black route? I think it'd be fun. Make the sci-fi version.
I think the sci-fi version is kind of fun.
So sci-fi I think is cool because then we can do anything. So,
sure. Well, I guess my question would be Men in Black as in aliens and humans, or Men in Black as in maybe not aliens, but people that are fighting over this information source? Or
I think sci-fi is good. I don't want it to be humans versus aliens. I'm not a fan of that xenophobic kind of push in that direction, but I do like the idea of there are aliens on both sides, humans on both sides, or whatever, and aliens to each other. But
I think if you did we would need 2 different factions.
Yeah.
Maybe it is humans versus aliens, but there are also humans or also aliens on the human side, because then you could do like the first thing I said, X-Men. You could do like an X-Men thing where it's like one group, the bad group or whatever, is the aliens that like want to get all the information on humanity so they can destroy the Earth and make it theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And the other group is like humans, but also aliens who like want to be friendly and don't want to destroy the world, but just like want to.
Right. They want to live peacefully on Earth.
Yeah. And so you've got like the Magneto X-Men and the Professor X X-Men. That's like the two different factions.
Yeah. No, that's kind of cool. And we are.
I'm just trying to find a reason why you would have
On both sides.
humans and aliens on both sides.
Is it two different planets?
But then that just feels like it's definitely humans
then it becomes
versus
territorial.
aliens. Becomes territorial, and then it's definitely humans versus aliens, because it's like you trying to steal their information, them trying to steal your information, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, fuck it. We could just make it fucking humans versus aliens. It is what it is. Invasion kind of thing.
It's easy. You do the same thing that everybody does. You just demonize it. You make them ugly looking, big teeth, big scary shark people like in our thing, and then it's like, oh, those people are shark people. You should really kill them,
God damn it.
Propaganda and whatnot.
See, if you
It's
make them
is a
fear,
sad world we live in. It's a sad, sad world.
Speaking of dystopian end of the world, okay. I'm not married to that.
Married to Aaron.
Not really married to either one. I'm not really married to alien demons on both sides or divisive on that. It feels hard to connect the storyline. If there is a fucking storyline, does it really fucking
Well, then
matter?
we really don't have to go. It doesn't have to be on Earth. It can just be different space stations, and maybe it's two different like alien governments that are doing this to each other. Humans could be part of that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what like our overworld, our zoomed out look at the map is. Is this a city? Does it base in a planet? Does it take place in a town or a galaxy?
Maybe it is a series of space stations, and that's why everything looks corridory.
That could be neat. That could be interesting. Well, because then we could do some neat stuff. Like we could have our alien or Ridley Scott style.
Ooh. That could be interesting, because you could have like
Different themed.
Have you ever played Dead by Daylight?
Yes.
The horror game where you play like
Yeah, that's what I was talking about
Freddy or
earlier. It's kind of like that.
whatever.
Which is technically not a hero shooter, but it's a hero game.
Sure. What if the level, like, obviously same style, same whole shtick,
Yeah.
but you have like a twin stick. I don't know if the teams are fighting over like trying to get that sample of an alien, or
I think I'm having a hard time envisioning things as a twin. This is a twin stick thing, which is I'm struggling with a little bit.
in my head, I'm picturing like blueprint corridors.
No, I could see that. That's great.
And then
That's
like
easy.
each way this team of people is looking, you've got like their different cones of light that you're seeing, almost in like a fog of war kind of way.
Yeah.
And this in my head has changed from like team shooter to what do you call it? Still team shooter, or not team shooter, still a
Hero shooter.
a hero shooter, because each character has their own abilities. But like, what was oh my God, I used to love this game. What was the game? Evolve?
Yeah.
That, but in a twin stick shooter. So like Alien on its spaceship trying to chest burster people.
Fun. A twin stick hero shooter.
Like a twin stick Evolve.
But it's PvE. And then
I mean, you could do it PvP, where the point of Evolve was
who kills the thing first.
I forget.
Kind of hunt
what they
showdown
called it.
in that way. kill the thing, get the stuff, get out.
But it was like Evolve was 4v1.
Right.
So I get a team of 4 people playing one person, but the one person was the monster, and they could get more and more powerful the longer the game went on.
Yeah, and then your heroes can go around and level up or find buffs or kill smaller monsters and things like that to get different things.
Cause I kind of
we could do the Apex thing where as you evolve, you Evo or whatever it was called. You could.
What if it was
upgrade?
What if it was like one of my favorite things in the whole world?
I like this. I like this idea.
I also really like this idea. One of my favorite things in the whole world that just like went away was like early Halo games when you would have multi-team.
Yeah.
So it was like you would load up in a multi-team, and it would be, instead of one team versus the other team, there would be like 5 teams all trying to compete for the same objective, but it was like each teams of 2 or teams of 3. Mm-hmm. So it's like a bunch of different teams competing to do the same thing. So instead of having like a, that sort of still exists in, what's the word, Apex, keep squishing you down till there's one left, Battle Royale.
Oh, yeah.
That sort of still exists in Battle Royale, but it doesn't exist in like other objectives, sort of. So what if it was multiple teams,
okay,
all trying to kill this creature, and the creature was also a team. It was its own team. So it's like, instead of like uneven shooter, it's super uneven shooter. So it's like a team of 2, a team of 2, a team of 2, and one person playing the monster.
Okay.
And it's this like isometric sort of, or top-down twin stick shooter that's still this tactical thing going through.
That could be cool. I think the balance, yes, I like it. I think the balance would get really difficult, though. I think you'd be running into...
Point. That's the point of like uneven shooters, is like the monster has to be super powerful because it's got to be able to like...
It's got to competitively be strong enough to take on all 6 players.
It's got to be competitive enough to take on 3 different teams. And the point is those 3 teams are... I think it's kind of cool because it would mean like for the first part of the game is like...
Well, the monster, too, could have different move things that can move around the map and be stealthy.
Yes, you kind of need to like work together almost to fight this monster. But then at some point, there's a tipping point that's like, okay, we might kill the monster in the next engagement, but I want to win. So
right.
Then the players turn on each other. The teams become which team can kill the monster, or can the monster kill all the teams?
Is the monster our fugitive?
Yeah,
I think our monsters are a thing. Maybe they've escaped from labs, and that's what it is. The monsters are our fugitives, and they're lab escapees, and all of these teams are like hired guns that have to go out and hunt these things down across the galaxy or whatever it is, because they're moving diseases or they're dangerous, whatever. It depends on the alien that we make, which can all be different, and all these procedurally generated maps. Twin stick shooter still, which is sick. Top down, multiple floors.
The 4th wall break. What is our 4th wall break in this? Because so let me give you a divergent path. The divergent path is you can have them fighting like aliens, or you could do fighting all kinds of different things. And so like the alien in a ship could be one version. Then you end up with the Minotaur in a labyrinth with the same like tactical shooter craziness, but procedurally generated labyrinth, and a Minotaur is one of the things. So what if the creatures have their own maps? And so like that's one of the things that is tactically advantageous to the guy who's alone, who's playing the creature.
When he picks his creature.
You pick the creature and you're like, okay, maybe it's you pick the creature and the map, or maybe it's like I want to pick the alien because I know all the mechanics of the ship map better than I know the mechanics of the other one. Or maybe as the monster, you can see what heroes get picked from the different teams. So like if I'm on, let's give them colors, red, green, and blue team and the monster. if you're the red team, you can only see what your other buddy on the red team picked. If you're the green team, you can only see what your other buddy, like, you know what 2 heroes you're playing.
Yeah.
If you're the monster, maybe you can see what all the characters are playing, and you're like, oh,
that'd be cool.
They have a grappling hook guy. They have a this thing. They have a this thing. Well, I shouldn't play in the one that has, 3 floors because the grappling hook guy can get up there.
Right, you can nerf that
So
guy.
I'm putting them. I'm gonna play the Minotaur, and we're gonna play in the labyrinth. That's all 1 floor, and so like he can pull himself to different walls really fast. But like you don't have to worry about him pulling himself to another floor.
Right, he's not going to get above you.
He's not gonna get above you and shoot down. So it's like
that could be cool, and I like the challenge of that because
I like having to compete because the monster going in, it's obviously the difficulty will be in balance.
Well, I mean, if you look at Dead of Night and you look at Evolve, not Dead of Night, Left 4 Dead. Look at Left 4 Dead, Evolve, those types of games. It was so much harder to be the guy that was the zombie or the monster because you have 4 motherfuckers shooting you from anywhere.
That's what Evolve is like. You've got a team of 4 and a monster.
Yeah.
The team of 4 is trying to track you down. They've got things to trap you, to like corral you in.
You got to just get bigger.
But like you can evolve at the point. So like if you eat enough creatures or you beat them up enough, you can run away, and then you can like do a little cocoon and come out a little bit more powerful. Mm-hmm. So like the point for the people playing is like, all right, we got to get this guy, we got to trap him, we got to kill him fast enough, because the longer you let him live, the stronger this creature is going to get.
Well, you get so many cool mechanics too. It's like, again, go back to like the Minotaur, just something we've talked about using it in other things. You get the Minotaur, would be 6. You could be going around and you could set off, it's your maze, set up traps and turn things on. Instead of evolving as a Minotaur, because you wouldn't evolve, you could just upgrade.
I don't think things evolve in this, but like you are capable of interacting with the dungeon better than these other things.
Yeah.
And like each one of these creatures would have their own mechanic. Like, we can't use
we can't
use Alien
in the water
from Alien, but
yeah,
as an example, the alien would be able to move through air ducts that the people couldn't move through.
Right. It's
it
certain
would be able
mechanics.
it would be able to implant itself in one of the characters. So if you took too long to win, green team might accidentally end up being 2 little, green team dies, they spawn as little chest bursters, and then like those characters are gone. But the computer now plays 2 little aliens with you, and then red team dies, and it's just blue team left, and they have to kill you, and you're at low health, but they also have to contend with the 4 little aliens that have chest bursted out.
Yeah, you got one that
are controlled by the computer.
You got one that like cuts the mic of a player, and you take over that player's character for a minute.
Sure, and it's like I, at some point, like in Morphology or whatever, you would have one of these creatures that can disguise themselves as other players. So like, you walk up next to your other dude on the green team, and then it, like Among Us slashes you or whatever, and you're like, oh my God, start shooting him, and then he's gone.
Your buddy comes around
your buddy's like, I was opening the door over here. What do you mean? You could play with like proximity chat, which would be cool.
Oh, I think for sure proximity chat.
Which for those who don't know is, you've seen people join parties or whatever, like when Tavyn and I are playing Xbox, we can always talk to each other. Proximity chat is a different thing in games that is literally you can only chat with people by proximity in the game. So if Tavyn and I aren't standing in the game 20 feet from each other, we can't hear each other.
Yeah, or like if an enemy's coming up on you, you can hear them. You can hear them
talking to their actual buddy over their microphone or whatever, which I think would be cool for this game because it's so like tactical. It would make sense. It's like if you're in a hallway next to somebody and you hear them talking, it's like, come here, I hear them over there.
Right, and you can't be shouting to your buddy, get over here there, because they'll hear you. So that for sure we have to have proximity chat.
I think that would be really cool.
For sure we have procedurally generated maps depending upon the creature that is being hunted, depending on our fugitive character.
And I think each map would have cool stuff in it. Like the ship would have some kind of like cryo thing that could heal you in the
that'd be sick
room, but you'd have to find a little hospital wing.
Or you could trap one of the enemy players in one.
The Minotaur would have, somewhere in the labyrinth there's going to be a chest, and it's going to have some weapon in it, some sword or something that will let you do something specific in the map that like the Minotaur can't use.
Oh yeah.
But if you can find it, each little thing will have its
like these little secrets in each one.
So the fugitive is our evil creature, and the 4th wall break is I don't know. That's
kind of hard.
That's the
I mean,
question.
we could do it funny, but I feel like I don't want to do funny because we did funny with Downriver.
Then you don't have to do it funny.
Not that it's
you can
funny,
go
but-
back to almost, where we started this, which was these, maybe this is an entity that knows that these things are about to escape. Oh, almost like the Watcher, like a Marvel guy who can see everything in the universe, is like, there's an alien that could break containment from this ship, and it would be horrendous to life everywhere. It would spread quickly. And so he would select his little people and be like, or maybe like the Zordon thing, it's just him.
I think I said not the funny route, but maybe it's like we've got this character that is basically goes, these are happening all over the place. I don't have time to cover all this. You got this sector. And like just talking to you, the player.
Oh, maybe you're the Watcher?
Yeah. Well, yes. Is that really a fourth wall break? Or is it just you're the PC?
Breaking the fourth wall, talking to you through the screen.
Yeah.
As long as you don't have a body in the screen. As long as whatever this, like, maybe it's like, maybe it comes on with the guy being like, obviously not Watchers, but he's like, we're part of the Watchers. Your job is to rein in, Universe 57 and to see all of the problems here's your thing that will help you see all of the problems, and then you need to select the right people for the job.
You're Universe 57 in the Milky Way. You handle your sector. And
you're
like, oh, okay.
And you're like, okay.
Talk to me on Earth.
And then you've got your like home screen, and the home screen is, tells you what the next thing is. But honestly, this is just a PvP game at this point.
Yeah, for sure.
So it would, you would queue up for a fight, and then it would show up with whatever voice is like, alien breaking containment on brr, 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 brr. And
right, it gives you the prompt for whatever.
And then you show up and you grab your
pick your hero.
We just have I think we can just have one of the characters that's aware. One of the heroes is aware.
Honestly, that would be the easiest. The easiest thing is just one that constantly talks back to you.
Sure.
And really, that's what
that
we're
will
gonna do.
be someone's favorite character.
For sure.
So I think we just design a character that's like that. I think it's cool if you're a Watcher, or the Watcher's like, maybe you're not the Watcher, because with a PvP game you need an AI that's like sort of telling you what to do.
I think it's funny if it's one of the alien, if it's one of our fugitives, and our fugitive is you can constantly hear the fugitive talking to the players.
The monster.
Yeah.
That could be cool if one of the monsters is like
interdimensional being.
Interdimensional being.
Yeah.
And it's like, you'll never catch me, or whatever, and you just
Really,
like
that's
hear
who you
it through your
picked.
head. Yeah, that's cool. I like that.
You played this map before, I can tell.
Sounds like maybe we're finally at a good spot. That one took a while.
That one took a minute.
That one took a while.
This was harder than I thought it was going to be.
But yeah, I think that's good. I think we're at a good spot.
Head on
We
over
can
to the
name
first draft.
stuff, figure stuff out, and see you guys again for the first draft. Sorry, I said that like it was a question. I'll see you again for the first draft.
You will watch.
Don't click off the video.
All right, guys, we'll see you in a minute. Fucking crap.
Shit, I came back on.
You hit the button.
I hit the button. I'm not going to do it again. We're just rolling with
We're
it.
here. Hey, welcome back to the first draft. When last you left us, we were sitting down and figuring out the mechanics and all the goodies and the characters for our new game, Aberrant.
We're going to tell you about it once I click back over here onto my notes. Aberrant is our twin stick hero shooter. The slogan for which is locate, isolate, terminate. This multiversal guild exists outside of the realms that you know. They hire hunters to take out high priority targets throughout the multiverse. Aberrations that have shown up that could cause damage in some way, shape, or form. Only the winner gets the big bucks, and the survivors get to hunt again. Mechanically, like we said, twin stick shooter. The interesting thing is that the teams are not balanced. There are 3 teams of 2 and 1 monster. Only one team can win, or the monster can win. the Aberrant wins when all the Venators die.
Sorry,
so,
we didn't specify. The hunters are the Venators.
Yes.
The playable character. I shouldn't say the play. They're all playable characters, but the humanoid characters are your Venators, which are members of this guild, and all of the creatures that they're hunting are Aberrants.
Yes, that sort of gives you the direction of what you want to play as. If you want to play the 1 against the 6, you can play as the Aberrant. And if you want to play in teams of 2 to try and kill other teams of 2 and the creature, you play the Venators, which are the hunters that this guild hires out.
Yeah, so that's kind of some of the mechanics there. It's if you were listening to the first part, which you should have, it's a twin stick tactical hero shooter.
So we do still have that like 2-dimensional, wherever your character is looking, you get that like cone of vision where you can see. So there is tactics. There's obviously going to be scares because there's these monsters in it. You know, you turn the corner of a labyrinth and there's a minotaur there. There will be stuff that it really puts you into the mindset of you need to take this game slowly. You need to take it tactically. The Aberrant wins if they're able to kill all of the Venators, or the Venators can take some of themselves out. You kill another team. Yes. If the last person standing is the Aberrant, it wins.
This is aided along with the we talked about a closing ring method or mechanic, and we kind of settled on each of these maps, and we'll get into the styles of the maps themselves, but each of these maps having portions of them closing off to kind of force all of the characters in the Aberrant kind of closer together.
Yeah, we'll talk about each map has its own sort of mechanic, but as the game goes on, you don't want it to take forever, so it will kind of force everyone together slowly. The Venators win in sort of 2 ways. Mm-hmm. One, you kill the creature and you kill the Aberrant and extract with it. So basically there's a multiversal thing that you put down. When the monster dies, you set it down and it starts a little timer. And if that timer hits 0, it warps you and the creature's body out of there so that you can prove you were the ones that killed it. You take it to the guild hall. They take it. Who knows what they do with it?
Yeah.
But you get the bounty for that creature. Whereas the other way is you can survive. If you're on another team and the creature, the Aberrant, dies,
just get out.
You can fight the team that's trying to extract, or you go extract, or whatever the situation is. You can survive.
Survival is winning
without having done it, and you'll get some XP. But if you get out with the creature, you get a ton. And killing other players gives you a ton of XP as well. That way, it sort of
nudges you into doing
incentivizes you to not just like bunch up as all 6 of you and take on the thing. If you are the only ones that survive, or you're the ones that extract with the body, you get a ton of that.
Right, because only one team can extract with the body, as well as by doing so, you get that ton of experience. You get the money for it, and one of the mechanics we developed is for the experience to unlock a map of your skill ability. So each of these characters, the more you play them, to encourage playing the same characters, playing characters longer. As you play and you get better and you do things, you will gain the XP through these Aberrant. I can't remember what we settled on it actually being.
It's like that's sort of story thing. Is as you win, you sort of take whatever these. So these Aberrant creatures are all like unnatural in some way. Like the Minotaur was maybe created by some gods or something in one of these universes, and it shouldn't exist. The alien that we had talked about before has changed shape a little bit, but basically like somewhere in its genetic code, it was engineered to be this killing machine. All these things are things that the multiverse would send, this guild would send you through the multiverse to do things. And that's why you could potentially do the same one multiple times, because you would be in a different universe with a different Minotaur, and the labyrinth looks a little bit different that time. And so it gives you like the replayability of why you would just, play a bunch of matches in a row and you'd have to kill a Minotaur a couple of times.
And these mechanics will change as each map goes along too. Each map will have its own mechanics and changes and abilities. But you'll unlock things. So like as we get into our characters, we'll go a little bit into some of those. But we can probably actually get into those now. I think that pretty much covered the majority of the mechanics.
Probably do the monsters first.
Sure.
And then jump into them.
Yeah.
So our our alien sort of changed shape and became, because we obviously can't use the license from the alien as our example, so we've sort of redirected it, and it has become almost like a summoner. It's called Monarch, and Monarch, the map takes place in an abandoned spaceship. Seems like we've already made something like that before. Takes place in an abandoned spaceship, and the thing that sort of forces you closer together near the end is some of the outer areas. The airlocks will open, and it will like force out all the items and oxygen, and you can't stay in those. So if you're in there when it closes, you may die. So when it says, hey, I'm going to purge the outside area, you need to get closer to the inside of this map. And on a timer, if you're playing the Aberrant, you can spawn little smaller versions of this Aberrant. We saw it as like a big praying mantis type creature with like big like scythe hands, but Monarch is kind of a play off the fact that it's a queen.
I guess not that big because she can move through the vents and she can move through the air.
Like a praying mantis, she's sort of like small bodied and slim, and so she can skitter through AC vents, and she can move in a way that like other players can't get around. And she's able to create little versions of herself that are kind of like computer controlled, but you can direct them at people. And if she has previously hit, like damaged a character at all, another hunter, then if that hunter dies,
yes, she can spawn.
If that Venator dies, they will spawn one of her little creatures, almost like the chest burster kind of situation, and they're a little bit more powerful than the ones she can normally create. Yeah, so by the end of it, you could potentially be in a team of 2 trying to kill her, and all of a sudden you're in a room and there's a bunch of little ones trying to attack you, and you have to choose who. So like, she works in like trying to overwhelm a character.
Yeah, you get your little ones, like your one hits, but those mobs build up, and you got your medium one from your actually getting a kill that's a little more dangerous, and they're coming at you, and so she's not like the high damage, but she's the overwhelming swarm.
If you let her get going and you're not focused on her and you're focused on like other teams or whatever, she'll get to a point where she'll overwhelm you.
Yeah. And then we move on to our Minotaur, which is pretty straightforward. Big half man, half bull dude with an axe and a labyrinth. The labyrinth we figured out will slowly start to crumble away as the zones start to edge out. In this Minotaur, he's got a couple of abilities. He's a bull. He's got the big charge where he rushes down the straightaway in India. He's got his AoE swing with his big old axe. And really cool and super annoying is going to be his gore headbutt.
So it's like he picks his head back up and is able to like smash you with the horns, and it sort of like implants you in the ground.
Yeah.
You kind of have to like shake your controller sticks back and forth to wiggle your way out of the ground, or you're stuck and he can just kind of pummel you for a while.
Yeah, this is that character this is that Aberrant that the player is more likely going to be coming at you instead of the other way around.
If the other one kind of runs and gets enough creatures following it, it can overwhelm you. This one is more like, you don't want to get stuck alone.
You're defensive.
You don't want to get stuck alone. If this thing bashes you into a spot that you can't get away, and it does the like sprinting gore and knocks you away from your other teammate or the other players, and you're alone, you don't want to be there.
You're done. And then we've got Blight.
Blight is our like botanical garden sort of like hedge maze kind of deal. It is a giant like not pot plant. It's a giant. What was the word I was looking for? Like
potted plant?
No, like the venomous pot plants, you know?
Victory bell?
It was like a big victory bell kind of.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. Anyway.
It's a big pot plant.
It is. With this one's big reefer is what we call this one. No, this one is like a poisonous plant that is trying to trap you and poison you. Yeah. It has little like things that it can plant. So it can plant little seeds, and if the seeds have time to grow, they become almost like little
like stationary turrets.
Yeah, like little stationary turrets that kind of like shoot seeds at you, and they can harm you and poison you, and they can be damaged themselves. So like if you come up against one, you can hurt it, but also that creature has vision with whatever that plant is. So it can kind of see through the fog of war. It doesn't have to worry about, its little cone of vision going around corners. It can see up there that there's somebody walking around next to that one.
And it's not the fastest of the monsters either. So it uses these
No.
things to kind of figure out where it needs to
Yeah,
get away.
to, like stay one step ahead of you, and if it plants one in a dead body, it's kind of like fertilizer, and it makes that one like a little beefier. And it can also like belch poison out of its like top and do like a damage over time. So you need to go away and heal and come back. And because it's not that fast, it also can leave one of its abilities. It can leave poison behind it. So if it takes off down an edge of the maze and you're trying to chase it, it will just dump poison out of it onto the ground.
Trail.
So you don't want to chase it because then you're standing in poison. You got to find another way around to it.
Yeah. And then we've got Division, which is this big super brain in a that was planted into a mechanical robot body. It's got like the little like four-leg
kind of
thing.
like floats around. It's got like the tentacle legs that are kind of walking around with it.
This is our fourth wall breaker. This is the guy that if you were playing as Division, this thing is talking to you. It's talking about it's us as you're moving through the game.
Yeah, it can sense like that you're playing the game and you are with it. And
like
it will
it's smart
sort of
enough.
like all the other ones kind of make grunting noises, or maybe the Minotaur talks a little bit.
Yeah.
But this one is like, I see what you're doing and it's helping us out. Or it's always talking about like we and us, like you're there, part of it. It knows what's happening somehow.
Yeah, he's sick. And this guy puts up a couple of abilities. He puts up a telekinetic wall that you if you were playing him can see this wall, but the other
you can
players
sort of see
cannot.
it and angle it. So like if you're in a big open room, this whole thing takes place in his laboratory,
Yes,
wherever this
sorry, we
thing was
didn't give the
created.
space.
So it's a giant lab.
And Blight is in a botanical garden. I don't know if we said that.
Yeah, I think we did.
Oh.
This one, as it like slowly edges you in, it is the like what do you call, like an incinerator type
always
thing,
edge you
like like the CDC. Like if bacteria was getting out or like a virus was getting out, the whole thing just like pumps in flames and destroys everything. So the lab slowly burns itself up as it kind of pushes you into the middle. But if you're in a large room and you're playing this creature, you can sort of angle this wall, and you put up this wall that creatures can't shoot through and creatures can't pass through. If you're not playing the character, you can't see where the wall is.
Right, so it
you
puts you
can
in that
see
spot of
him
like
do the animation, but you can't see where the wall is. So until you're like, "Oh, I'm coming to get you, buddy," and all of a sudden, the room is split in half by a wall that you can't see, and you don't even know. Like, is it arced this way?
Like
is
like
it
on
straight
in
ahead?
Pokemon when you go to Koga's gym, you're like,
Yeah, the invisible wall.
7-year-old dude's like, what the fuck?
So it's frustrating for the players, but this whole brain is built around like telekinetic and telekinesis and like doing stuff with the mind.
And when you finally find your way around the damn wall, he goes and hits you with that ability and fears you.
Yeah, he can fear you, so it will like make you walk away from him for a short time. Very disruptive to the enemy team. This is kind of his shtick, is just like being disruptive.
Yeah.
You can't do what you want to do when you're playing against this guy. So those are our 4 aberrants to start with. Mm-hmm. And so since we had on the like humanoid player side 3 teams of 2, we wanted to make sure there were more characters so that every character didn't appear in each game.
Yeah, a little variation.
So we created 8 characters really quick and give you like a little bit about their abilities and what they can do, and then like sort of how you can augment them by leveling them up. But we'd made 8 of them so that, a full team of 6, you'll get that variation in each game.
Yeah.
It's not the same characters every time.
And if you're watching this one too, and you can come up with something that we haven't thought of, throw it in the comments. Let us know. But our first one here is he's like our grapple hook guy, and his name is Captain.
Captain. Yeah, his name is Captain, and so we wanted to give each character like an offensive and a defensive ability, because I particularly don't like games that, there's the healer. You always want to have the healer on your team, or, you're playing an offensive character, so I have to play a defensive character, or it's like forcing you into a corner.
I hate traditional gameplay.
With this one, every character sort of has 2 ways that they can be used. That way you're not like locked into certain teams. So Captain has a grappling hook.
Yeah.
So his grappling hook can be shot out and attached to another wall, and he can pull himself toward it. Or you can shoot it out and grab something and pull it towards you. So in a defensive way, almost, you can shoot it and grab a wall and pull yourself out of trouble. On an offensive standpoint, you can shoot it out and grab the monster, or shoot it out and grab one of the enemy team members and pull them in toward you and your team member.
Yeah, or pull yourself to the monster.
Or pull yourself out, or pull a buddy out of a dangerous situation.
And this is kind of what we talked about, too, a little bit with the skill points, experience points as the characters level up, leveling up that hook. So you could eventually steal the body from the other team or something like that if you're high enough level.
As they're trying to extract with it or whatever, you can move it so that it kind of messes up their plan. If they've killed the monster in a good spot and they're sort of setting up cover around it, just pull that guy out of there. Now he's out in the open.
Really, he's a super tactical character. Like, be a lot of fun.
And this guy is like a human male, scrawny. Like, he's very submachine gun and shotguns. He's trying to get around quickly and move around.
Yeah, he's your fast close quarters get in, get out.
Yes.
Our next one is our just said how much we hate healers, but we gotta have one. You always gotta have one. So our medic is our tactical AOE healer. So she sends out. Is an androgynous cyborg type character named Swarm, who has this swarm of cybernetic bugs that they send out that then lifesteal and steal HP in an area, which can be from your team or not. Yeah. It's hazardous in that way, but also to heal, they have to take health to then give health.
So yeah, it's like a swarm of nanobots, and like you're throwing the nanobots out and they're doing damage, but as they do damage, you sort of work up the ability to take the blood or health that they've sapped and give it back to yourself and those around you. But the problem is, it's not, you can send it out to hit who it's going to hit. But when you go do the heal, it's just an area of effect.
It's whoever
an AOE, and it's whoever's nearby. So if there's enemies too close, or if the creature's too close, you have to be tactical with when you're like, I'm going to heal. It's better probably to retreat a little bit and get your buddy out and then heal the two of you and then go back in instead of just healing. But if your buddy's about to die, it may be worth just healing, even though it's going to heal the monster a little bit and maybe heal one of the enemy teams a little bit so that your buddy doesn't die and you have then a chance to get out. But this, like he said, is an androgynous, like cyborg type thing. It's more machine than it ever was a live creature. So it's hard to know what this thing was.
Yeah. And then we've got the drill guy / wall builder, Boar, who is our male anthropomorphic alien space boar.
I love this guy.
Boar the boar.
The space boar is like an anthropomorphic wild boar looking dude. One hand, he's got a giant like drill bit sort of thing on, and the other hand has like a gun with almost like a spray nozzle on it. And sort of like our healer who gives and takes with their abilities. This guy has the ability to punch through walls. So he can drill through a wall and open a door or open a corridor in a place that you shouldn't normally be able to get out of, a dead end, a building, whatever. He can sort of force a hole in the wall. And with whatever he has destroyed, whatever material he's just drilled through
and collects,
he gains the ability to build a wall with the spray gun.
So this guy can really change the field.
So he can
change the map.
He can really affect the map, and he can affect the movement of your team. To get out of a sticky situation, he can drill through a wall and then close it up with the gun, or he can drill through a wall and leave it open and go somewhere else and fill in a gap and turn something into a dead end, or close a door and make it impenetrable, that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, you can box yourselves in and give yourself
a
moment to rest.
Yeah, that's also a good plan, closing up the doors to a room and just, using meds, making sure you have ammo,
Pop a shield cell.
Whatever, yeah. Make sure you're okay. What's next?
Invisible. Beanie. So we have our invisible lockpicking character, Beanie, Beanny, like B-N-D.
Yeah, this was our invisible cloaked character with lockpicks, and we were like, what are you doing, B&E? Oh, B&E. So Beanny is B&E.
Yeah, she's this female kind of lithe, bald alien species that's just tatted up, super cool. And this character is in the that's it. So it can turn invisible.
And can go through like locked places and has the ability to like maybe find shortcuts that other characters couldn't find. but just your classic, I'm in a sticky situation, I'm invisible now kind of character.
Yeah, goodbye.
Bye-bye. And then we have Bulwark. Bulwark is our big, every game's got to have a big shielded guy. Big shield guy is actually a girl.
Yes.
She is our space dwarf. Like the
I love Bulwark.
burly, big, like big braid, shorter, big old girl with a big electric gauntlet. And that big electric gauntlet is capable of doing like a rushed shield bash where she can knock things away. And it's also capable of repulsing. So you can get up into somebody's face and begin a fight. And you can also push the aberrant or other people away and keep them away from you for a short time, enough to back up or help your friend out or do whatever. But it's very like
or this just straight up shield, like
very like battlefield control. I'm blocking bullets, I'm jumping in and punching people, or I'm keeping you away.
Yeah, a lot of good CC. And then we've got our Stadium.
Stadium is one of
Stadium's
my favorites.
Stadium's your favorite.
Stadium's my favorite.
Stadium is a male human gladiatorial type character that thrives on being at the center of attention.
For sure. And his ability comes in the form of 2 domes. So he has these 2 items that he can use. One of them sort of more offensive, one of them sort of more defensive. The offensive one, he can throw it, and it basically puts up this large dome. And the dome can extend through walls or whatever. So it basically puts a ring on this 2D map. And if you're in it, you can't get out of it. It's not small enough that it's like close quarters, but it's big enough to go, hey, this map is big. You're stuck in these 4 rooms, or you're stuck in these couple of hallways. And so you can still hide, you know, your cone of vision still happens. Like, it's still possible to hide, but if you use it on the monster, they're going to have to try and dodge you in here, or you're trapped in here with them too.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can use it on other players, or even better, you can use it on other players and the monster and get everyone else stuck in a thing that they have to fight in for a while. And then his defensive one is a much smaller dome, but you're capable of walking in and out of it, but it blocks bullets and attacks.
Yeah.
So
This guy's
you could also use them in tandem. You could throw down and trap everybody in the room, you know, a big open room, lunchroom that there's nowhere to hide in. And then you can make cover for yourself and your buddy and stand in the smaller bubble within the big bubble.
Everybody fight it out.
Really interesting character that affects the battlefield in very interesting ways.
And then we've got probably one of my favorites. We have Brrt, who is the tiny alien frog, who's like he's like a crazy frog type.
Yeah, like
character.
the old Crazy Frog music video. His name is BRRDT. He's our engineer. He's our engineer, and he creates turrets. He also has like a heartbeat sensor, so he can see people through walls. He's able to know if there's somebody in like close proximity, or if the cloaked character is close around, if B&E is around, he can detect their heartbeat if he's checking for it. And he can also like set up a turret in a hallway that will let him know if somebody goes through and shoot at them. And then like as he sort of levels up and you get more things with him, the turrets are a little bit better, or you can control the turrets themselves, heartbeat sensor range, that kind of stuff. But he's like a crazy little frog dude.
I love Bert.
Yeah. Bert is great.
And I think our last one is go ahead.
Our last one is Caliber. Caliber is our like classic trapper, female human space safari hunter.
Just
so
like female Crocodile Dundee.
Exactly, but like all the like safari stuff except like space looking, but definitely like big elephant gun, like huge gun, fires slowly. It's bolt action, but it's high damage. And then like bear traps. She's all about like leaving traps places, and if you can do it well enough, if you've got a gun that hits really hard but shoots really slow, you need to be accurate. Well, what's the better way to be accurate than have somebody get stuck in a bear trap? Then you've got all the time in the world to line up that shot and shoot. You know, if a monster's running around, if an aberrant's running around and hard to hit, you might miss a little bit. But if you can get caught in a trap, then you can do some big damage.
And then I think last but not, so those are all of our Venators that we've come up with so far. And like we said, if you can think of a cool Aberrant or a cool Venator, throw it in the comments. You know, we're excited to see what you guys come up with. And I think that leaves us with our DLC as the last but not least.
Yeah, so last time we did some DLC, this one we didn't create new like characters and monsters for it, but what we did do is more like the first title update. So like the first update that would come to the game would come with an interesting new mode to play. And that interesting new mode for us was playing with the creatures, but not in their maps. So it allows you like a limited time mode where you can play the Minotaur in the lab or the plant in the labyrinth.
Bull in a china shop.
And just like see what those characters are capable of doing in maps that weren't really built for them is super interesting. And then Switcheroo is the name of that title update. And we would also have skins for the characters that sort of mirror other skins. So you would have like
Bert would get like a safari outfit.
Would get like the safari outfit and stuff like that, and like his turret would be like the big elephant gun looking thing.
Yeah.
And so it's like if you always play Bert and I always play Boar, it's like, well, we look really different. But if I get the skin that sort of looks like you, or you get the skin that looks like me, or we get each other's skins, then it makes us feel like you're playing in that 2-man team a little bit better.
A little more cohesive.
And it could also be funny to have like skins for the monsters that are the other monsters. So you get like the little horns or whatever on top of the big brain, and just funny stuff like that. Yeah. That's like, kind of throws a wrench into the system.
Doesn't change the game.
Doesn't change anything, and it's not like you're not going to actually look like that character, so it's not confusing. You're not like looking at that's shooting like Caliber. It's just he just has a hat on,
Maybe some things with his turrets and stuff like that to flavor it and all, but all just for good fun. And so I think
that seems like it. That's our game Aberrant.
Took us an hour to get there.
Took us a minute to get there, but I think it's fun. This is interesting. I think this would be fun to have like 6 people in a room, or whatever, 7 people in a room trying to play.
Do a little LAN party.
And just like LAN party and have 7 people in your house trying to play it all at once. I think that would be super fun, especially for whoever keeps being the odd man out and plays the creature.
The one that just hates all his friends.
Yeah, see, we don't have to do the horrible job of trying to balance this game around 6 people being as strong as one monster. So that we'll leave that to the devs one day.
Yeah. But thank you guys for watching. And please don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe to us. Share us, please.
Yes, please share and hit that little bell in the corner if you're watching us on YouTube.
What's that do?
It reminds you.
Oh, yeah. It sends you notifications that when our, bi-weekly, by the way, clearly. Every other week, you'll get an episode from us. And if you're listening on Spotify or wherever you find your podcast that we happen to be on, rate it, review it, give us the stars. Don't give us low stars. That's not helpful. That's not helpful. Give us 5 stars and then tell us what you didn't like about it. Yeah. Sorry, that feels like...
Just think of us like an Uber driver. You hit 5 stars and then you just tip us like $1. It's fine.
Yeah, so that the algorithm doesn't kill us.
Exactly. But thank you guys, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time, and sorry for all the non-essential dialogue.